Thank you very much everyone for coming this afternoon. It's a beautiful sunny afternoon and I'm sure you'll be much rather under a tree somewhere, so very much appreciate it that you've come. Also want to thank Signal Arts for making me so welcome here. Doing a fantastic job on Monday, helped me set up, so thank you very much. I'm not going to talk long, just going to say a little bit about me and the work. So I'm an artist, I do all kinds of things, drawing and painting mainly, but also work with textiles. Over the past 2 or 3 years I've been exhibiting in Oxford and places in England and Northern Ireland and Poland. But I've never exhibited in the Republic of Ireland, so this is a first for me, so I'm particularly delighted to be here. My kind of themes are loosely memory and loss, commemoration. Those are the kind of things that I work with, which is where this project came from. It's very hard to say where an idea comes from. You don't just wake up one morning and whatever, it kind of grows. But definitely this was born from the experience of lockdown, being away, not being able to travel to Ireland. I'd had a very long extended period. I'd had a year of chemotherapy and breast cancer treatment. And when that was all done, then of course we had lockdown, which meant another year and a half locked up, not being able to go somewhere. Luckily I'm an artist and have my studio at home, so there was lots I could do, and it did absolutely concentrate the mind. So I began this programme of tea towels. I describe it as a history, and it's photographs of my family and my father's family, and my mother's family from the last 1903 up until the late 80s. So they're all my family. All the motifs and the landscapes have been drawn to tell you more about the people, the place, the time of what's going on. Now, why did I choose to do it in this particular way? Well, anyone in Ireland, the idea of linen is quite a close subject, and especially in the north. But this idea of the tea towels, it's a kind of everyday item. It's overlooked. You handle it nearly every day. And I thought that suited my theme. I'm from a very normal working class family, poor farming family. We're very ordinary. I think the working class people get overlooked in art galleries. If you go to our national galleries, you'll find oil paintings galore of people who maybe have done important things, but maybe they're there just because they were rich. And I think oral history is just as important. So it's a little bit of a tongue-in-cheek that I don't have halls of grand oil portraits, but I've got my lines of tea towels. But also on a more intimate level, it is nice to something that's directly tactile. It isn't covered with varnish and paint. It is something you can handle. Every single one of them's got a tiny little bit of hand embroidery. And that's really paying a tribute to those women in Irish history who would have hand embroidered the very expensive table linens or table runners or chair bags, perhaps for their own home, but maybe for someone else's home that they would never see. And of course it gives an extra tactile quality to the threads. Now, Ken's noticed something which I didn't talk to anyone else about, was the clothes pegs. That was kind of a bit of fun, but also to give context that the clothes pegs are roughly in chronological order. We would have had these kind here, coming up to the plastic ones in this year. All the motifs I've hand drawn and manipulated on the computer, but why use pattern? Of course, it's part of the iconography of the tea towel. But research has shown that patterns are very important to humans on a very deep psychological level, that back in primitive times, we were very aware of our surroundings, so any change, we had to be able to notice that. So pattern becomes quite reassuring to us. It's something we like and like to hold close. So that's the theory anyway. There's also some commemorative costumes, which is quite a fancy word for, I'm wearing one of them today. And my mother was a dressmaker and my grandmother was a dressmaker. So it's part in homage to them. But all the patterns on the commemorative costumes have come from the design of the tea towels. And again, they're just to celebrate my life, or someone in my life who's no longer around. This particular one, which I thought I'd left somewhere and then found it. So there's no documentation about the one I'm wearing today. I've designed it, and there is a towel here, see if you can spot it. In the 1960s, people talk about swinging London, and there were lots of Mary Quant stuff going on. There was op art. So I've designed my own black and white op art for my tea towel and also my costume. But you'll notice it's the old galvanised tin bin that we used to always have in our backyards, beaten up, dirty. And as we were reminded of yesterday, we were at an exhibition in the Museum of Modern Art in Dublin. And there was various videos and discussions, and they used the old galvanised tin bins quite a lot, although very pristine ones, I have to say. And of course, in my era, the bins with those bin lids were used a lot in the Troubles for women warning the army were going to come round. So they have, in their way, the galvanised bins, got a whole history of themselves, which I think is worth noting as well. Anyway, that's enough. I've bored you enough about that. So thank again for everyone for coming, and please drink more wine and have a good time. Thank you.